Hi everyone, I am Helen. I'm the Executive Head Teacher from FANS, which is the Forest Alliance of Nursery Schools. We run Churchill and Lowhall maintain nursery schools in Walthamstow.
And I am Lindsay, and I'm one of the teachers and I work at Lowhall and Churchill throughout the week.
So we've been asked to talk about Tales Toolkit, haven't we?
We have.
We use a resource called Tales Toolkit, which is fantastic. So we wanted to talk a little bit about what Tales Toolkit is.
So, Tales Toolkit is a really nice, practical way of developing stories, children's own stories. So you start with different bags and which each have their own symbol. So we have the character, the setting, the problem and the solution. And it helps children to develop their understanding of story and the structure of story.
Yeah.
So that they can tell their own stories.
Yeah. When we looked at Tales Toolkit, buying it in, we looked at using our early years pupil premium money to pay for it because it is a resource that does come with a cost. What I was really impressed with as a leader was thinking about the kind of training that my team would get from Tales Toolkit. When you sign up to Tales Toolkit, you are able to sign on to a huge bank of professional knowledge, including 5 training videos. So we watched the 5 training videos together and started to develop our practice. One thing that we did do when we were introducing this, because we'd spent some money on it, was put it on our school development plan for 3 years. So to make sure that staff kept using it and kept developing their practice. So in year 1, first of all, we trained up and we found practitioners like Lindsay, who was really confident in it. Then we did some peer observation on each other in both schools because everybody was learning it. Staff looked at how they could develop their use of Tales Toolkit. And in our 3rd year of using it, we developed even further. So on our staff badges, we have our Tales Toolkit symbols, because a big part of Tales Toolkit is that there is a problem, and whenever you have a problem, you find a solution. So we have started to use it in resolution conflict.
We have, and the children can really relate to this is the problem within the setting, within their game, or whatever's gone wrong within their game, and then can problem solve to find their own way out of whatever the dispute has been.
Do you find that children start to use that independently?
They will do, and they do, in terms of conflict resolution, they will start looking for solutions rather than just relying on an adult to help them fix whatever the dispute is.
Our parents talk about Tales Toolkit to us often as well. So once children start to use the process and start to use it independently, parents often say that they take the language home and they're very, very impressed with the high quality of language that comes out of Tales Toolkit, that children are using words like problem and solution. It doesn't simplify those actions for children. It presents them in a way that if we have a problem, we can always solve it.
And it's very inclusive because when you're doing the stories bags, where you pull out the characters, everybody can access it, whether they're learning new vocabulary around whatever comes out of the bag, and they can share names of objects or animals, etc. And then more able children can access it by building up the story and sharing imaginative ideas. And you're constantly modelling language structure and sentence structure.
It's not dissimilar, and it came out of the helicopter story movement. I think that what I prefer about Tales Toolkit to that is that for young children that perhaps don't have a great understanding of story because maybe they haven't got it at home, it gives them a structure to their story rather than just saying and the end. There is a genuine problem and solution. I used to work in Newham at a teaching school there, and I worked with a child who was elected mute, and she would only really talk in Tales Toolkit sessions because she knew the process and understood it.
And it was safe.
So we had the character was a dinosaur rather than being the problem, and then the problem was a man, like a Small World man, with a parcel on his shoulder. And one child said, "Oh, the dinosaur's going to eat the man." And this child stopped the session and said, "No. The problem is the dinosaur doesn't understand the man wants to be friends. He's got a present." And it was just the most incredible thing coming from a child that wouldn't talk in setting. The structure of Tales Toolkit gives children an opportunity to share their internal stories and express ways of changing their world, which I think is really exciting.
Yeah.
Can we just talk for 2 minutes about when children start Tales Toolkit, what it's like, and what happens towards the end? So the sort of development within storytelling.
So when they first start their first sessions, it's very much they will name the character, and there's a lot of guidance as we build up the character and who the character might be and their likes and dislikes, for example. And then as they become more confident with it, they will add more of the detail to them themselves. Yeah. And then after each session, where we've done it with the bags as part of a group, I would invite the children to come and Mark Mick to draw the story. And you will get, often children at the start will just do the story session, the story bags, but then as they become more confident, they're more willing to come. I'm not having to, lots of encouragement to get them to come and join me. They'll come more willingly to draw the story. And then in terms of their drawing of the story, they'll start off just drawing the story we've just done, which is fine, and that's what I invite them to do. But then they will start to, well, actually my problem is this, and add in their own problems or their own characters. And then using the badge on the symbols on our lanyards, you can build it up anyway. And if I see somebody mark making, I can say, oh, have you drawn your character? And they'll build it more into their day-to-day mark making practice. Yeah.
We would highly recommend Tales Toolkit.
Definitely.
This year in Waltham Forest there's an opportunity for it to be match funded for practitioners. So look out on the hub for information about Tales Toolkit. It will also be mentioned in the conference, but we would really highly recommend this wonderful resource. It's changed the way that we teach. It's changed the way we think about story, but it's had a really big impact on our behaviour as well. So thank you for watching our small video about Tales Toolkit.